Wait, say that again about Olivia Munn.
She's really an Ingenue, is her.
An Ingenue?
Yeah.
What is that?
You don't know, and you're an English major.
Yeah, and I know a lot of things, but
an innocent person.
An Ingenue, an innocent person. Okay.
An innocent.
Well, spell that.
Female.
Oh, an innocent female.
Ingenue.
Spell that word.
Maybe I should be called Ingenue. It's a French word. I can't spell for shit.
Wait. Maybe Iphigenia?
No, Ingenue.
Ingenue.
It means it's usually referring to a virgin, but
right,
not always, not exclusively.
Okay. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
They're in movies, they're in stories. You know, they sit there. They're usually kind of very beautiful, kind of big and dumb looking in a way. You know, they're naive. Their naivete is the essence of their character. And that beauty.
And it's kind of that's a purity.
And you need purity, and you need one to keep interest while you're doing this other thing, you know. Ingenue is
Ingenue. Okay, I probably read it.
It's French.
Or I probably heard it pronounced a different way, but
look up in your literary term books.
Yeah. Well, because I even took film studies, so I'm surprised I didn't hear. Because this woman, she was throwing stuff at us. God. But I mean, when she was on the woman teaching the film classes, when she was like really teaching you something, she was throwing terms out left and right. She had clips queued up. You know, it was great. You know, I was like, that's the really thing is to like just take apart the thorax, the impaler. Anyways, Ingenue. So that's what you say about Olivia Munn. Okay. Very interesting.
Well, you know, that's the basic part.
And that she's a comedienne. You know, not a comedian, a comedienne. You know, it's like an E.
And frequently the Ingenue is a comedian, usually playing the straight part.
Right. Oh, okay.
And
it's the Rose, the Betty White of the quartet.
Although Betty plays it a little broader than I wouldn't call her an Ingenue.
But you can imagine that it's an Ingenue but older.
Yeah, and it's usually played opposite a male, but like I suppose in Sex in the City.
One of the women.
The one you're clearly not the slut, and clearly not Carrie.
Right.
But the other friend that's
the one
a long-haired brunette who was
who got married to Kyle MacLachlan. Yeah.
And he was couldn't get it up. You know.
Right.
Yeah, that she's an Ingenue character. You know?
Yeah.
But like I said, more typically it's played against a male.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some of the other ones.
Well, yeah, I get what you're saying. I totally get it. Okay.
You know, it's a female protagonist usually played for beauty and naiveness.
Yeah, I really think the writers for Attack the Show, they're really good. I mean, and especially for X-Play too. And I think X-Play is because, for one thing, they can only do the show so much because they have to play video games, which requires time. You know, and then you have to talk about it and discuss with everybody. Like, well, what's your take on it? What did you think? Yeah. And I think they have a standard formula they use in writing, and then what they do is they go through and zazz it up. You know, they throw in just everything. They literally take it apart sentence by sentence or paragraph by paragraph, and then they talk about it. But they twist it around.
20 funny people sitting around, or 10 or 11 or 5 or 6 or 3.
Oh yeah.
Sitting around a table bouncing stuff off each other, you can come up with a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. And especially since it's their own talent in a lot of cases. Yeah. So like with these two guys, they're both intelligent. They both
everybody's got a part.
Really with and then they got some personalities, behind the scenes, and you can tell who the personality is because they're the people they use in skits all the time. Yeah. So they got this one guy, Casey Schreiner, who's this tall guy with a honker of a nose, but he does this skit called Office Jesus.
Office Jesus?
Yeah. And it's just like, Jesus is in your office, working with you in the office. And it's just, and he plays it so straight face, but he's a total dick to everybody, And he just kind of gets away with it too, Like, and really, those play up this total asshole. He's like, he takes people's food, he bumps into people, he talks on his cell phone and like just, is such a dick to everything, and always late to work. But yeah, he's a pretty good actor. They use him a lot in here. I think it's a little scrawny Filipino guy named Eric, and they call him Shirtless Eric because usually they got him with his shirt off because he's like the only, he's like the only guy there with like a defined body. It's because he's a skinny little Filipino guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.